Sir,
Yes.
sir, what will be that value of the CSF, that constant, sir?
CSF. You tell me what will be CSF? What is CSF first?
It's a constant depending upon the different surfaces.
Different surfaces, right? So you have filled in this delta T is what is your 18, right? So
Yes,
here
sir.
I can see CSF is taken out to be 0.0128. Okay. How do I get this CSF? What did we study? How do we get this CSF?
Okay.
How this constant is taken? You know, we studied this, right? How do we get it? This CSF? This CSF, how do you get it? There is a list, right? Where is
Yes,
the
sir.
table? Where is the table?
So this for water, copper, water, platinum, fluid heating surface combinations, different combination.
Correct. Yeah, from there you will get it, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the CSF, correct?
Okay, sir. Okay.
You have the CSF, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is your vessel made of?
Wait a minute. Where is question?
It's made of copper.
Vessel is copper.
So water and then copper. You can see the
Copper.
fourth one here. 0.0128, right?
Yes, sir.
So you should understand that these problems are
Wait,
given.
so sir, should we not consider
Sir,
the
it should
first
be-
one?
Yes,
the
sir.
first
It should be 0.013.
013.
So 1.3 and
It's
1.28
not much
is
of
not
a difference, but
not
still,
much of
it hasn't been specified in the question that it is polished.
Go ahead, 0.13. It's okay. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay.
Sir, could you switch to the question, please? I mean, the
Yeah.
is. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Any answer? So I've given the numbers here. So you have mu L Pascal second. Mu L is 279 × 10⁻⁶. HFG how much? 2257 kilojoule per kg. Be very careful about this. Joule per kg and joule per gram. Joule per kg means 10 to the power 3. So you will have 10 to the power 3 here. And then you have G, which is 9.81. Rho L is how much? 959, 957.9. And then rho V is very small, 0.59. You can ignore this also. Sigma is 58.9, 10 to the power -3. CP is 4.217. Again, 10 to the power 3 will be multiplied. Delta T is 18, 0.013. This is 2.257 10 to the power 3, and then Prandtl number is how much? Typically 1.76. So how much is coming Q? Quickly. Nobody got it? Why is it taking so much of time? Yeah, Diganta, did you obtain? Diganta, are you there? Julie, are you there? No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you obtain the solution?
Sir, Q comes up to be 798.5244.
798. But I have 836 anyways. That is not very different. Now, how will you get the, see what is the next question? So now you can see that this is, you can also obtain for moon, right? Which is
Yes, sir.
1/6 of the gravity that you do. Now, what is the second question that you have?
Evaporation rate.
So critical rate of evaporation, estimate the evaporation rate and critical heat flux, right?
Yes, sir.
So how will you evaluate that?
Sir, evaporation rate will be Q divided by HFG.
Q divided by so the evaporation rate will be what? The mass flow rate into HFG, right?
Sir.
So how much is the mass flow rate here? What is MB? MB will be what? Q by HFG, right? So how much is that?
Yes, sir.
How much did you get?
Sir, I'm calculating. So 93 points something.
Unit? Be very careful about the unit, okay?
That's it.
94 means, it will be kg per hour. Now kg per second will be different, okay?
Okay, sir.
Now how do you get the critical heat flux for nucleate boiling? What is the critical heat flux for nucleate boiling as per this plot?
Sir, we'll calculate for the maximum Q.
C, point C, right?
Sir.
In this plot, point C is the critical heat flux, right?
Yes, sir.
Now how do you obtain? How do you obtain? You obtain using
that Qmax formula.
This maximum, right? So
Yes,
that this is the way, this is what you need to learn, right? It's a very ad hoc subject. It is not like, associated with some sort of, very sound background and also. So this is what, which equation you need to look for that you have to obtain, right? So quickly calculate Qmax.
Okay.
So you have all the parameters. HFG, rho V you have already calculated. Sigma you already know. G is there. Rho L is also there. So you have to evaluate Q double dash max. This is the point which is associated with the maxima in the Nukiyama chart. The coefficient varies actually with different books.
Sir, 1.25 watt per meter square.
Watt or megawatt?
Megawatt per meter square.
Yes, megawatt per meter square, right? And so the moon, calculate what will be the difference between moon and max, Q max in the moon and Earth. How do you get it? Everything else remains same, right? What is the change? It's in the change in the G, correct? So this will become G moon by GR to the power 1/4, correct?
Yes.
Right? So then from there you can evaluate. Okay. Okay. Do that in the home. Let us go to problem number 11. We'll come back again to problem 2. Let us go to problem number 11. It's a very good problem to start with. Okay. Jury, can you read it for me?
A flat metal plate of 10 centimeter into 20 centimeter is heated to a uniform temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. Air at 1 atmosphere and 50 degrees Celsius is passed over the plate along the 20 centimeter length, and the corresponding Reynolds number is 40,000. Determine the rate of heat transfer between the plate and air. By how much this heat transfer will change if pressure is increased 10-fold and air velocity is double. Give a practical application where laminar flow is preferred instead of turbulent flow for the cooling purpose.
So simple. So simple is what is that? There is a flow and there will be a boundary layer developing, right? And you need to evaluate 20 centimeter downstream. What is that? What are the thing? Rate of heat transfer between the plate and air, correct? Yeah. What is the assumption? Steady state, uniform surface temperature, negligible radiation. How will you do that? Any clue? How will you do that? Typically, this sort of situation, how do you tackle in case of natural convection and forced convection? Whether there will be natural convection or not?
So we will calculate the
calculate what?
For the natural Grashof number and that Prandtl number.
Is it a natural convection case or is it a forced convection case? Your Reynolds number is 40,000.
Yes, I can't remember the range.
No, Reynolds number is 40,000. No, is it a see when we talk about natural convection, which dimensionless number we talk about?
For natural,
is Grashof number or Rayleigh number, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you have a Reynolds number to be 40,000, that means 4 into 10 to the power 4. So it's a laminar forced convection situation, correct?
Yes, sir.
So laminar force convection situation, how will you evaluate? You evaluate Nusselt number equal to point. This is the Dietz-Boelter equation, correct?
Yes.
You use Dietz-Boelter equation, and from there what you get the HL bar, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is the Nusselt number first? You obtain Nusselt number.
Okay.
You have everything here. You have to evaluate what? You have to evaluate Reynolds number is given and Prandtl number is how much? I have given the properties
0.7.
0.7. So can you evaluate the Nusselt number?
Yes, sir. $50,000. 117.8.
Now what are the other things that you know? Length is given. At what length it is to be obtained? It is 20 centimeter.
Yes, sir.
20 centimeter, correct? And
Yes,
then
sir.
the other thing is that what is the conductivity? I have also supplied the conductivity. So you can obtain the heat transfer coefficient, right?
Yes,
so what will be the heat transfer, average heat transfer coefficient at length L?
Nusselt number divided by L 0.2. 17.6.
17.6 watt per meter square Kelvin, correct? Now then what is the question that was asked? The question, so Nusselt number, heat transfer coefficient, you know. So your question was determine the rate of heat transfer between plate and air. I am assuming that this is only because of the forced convection and the boundary layer that is developed, right?
Yes, sir.
So what will be the rate of heat transfer? What will be the equation that you will use? Q equal to Which law you use? In convection, which law you use for heat transfer, rate of heat transfer?
Sir, Q is equal to HAS.
Delta T, right? So that is Newton's law of cooling that you are going to use, correct?
Sir.
So H A delta T. So how much is the Q, rate of heat transfer?
HL.
H bar L at 20 centimeter into what is that? Now A is how much? For a flat plate you are given. How much will be A?
10.
Metal plate 10 into 20 centimeter is heated, right? But then you are putting at 20 centimeter downstream. So what will be the A?
So
A will be 10 into 20, correct?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then so how much will be coming Q?
17.6.
17.6 watt.
Divided by.
So that is your rate of heat. That is your rate of heat transfer, right?
Yes, sir.
Now question is that the pressure is increased twice. The air pressure is increased twice and air velocity is doubled. So what will be the change here in this expression? What will be the change? Prandtl number will change. If you increase the pressure and if you increase the velocity, Prandtl number will change.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is Prandtl number?
Ratio of the momentum diffusivity upon the heat diffusivity.
But then talk about properties. Viscosity, specific heat. What is Prandtl number? It's mu Cp by K, right?
Yes, sir.
Mu is the viscosity, C is the specific heat divided by thermal conductivity,
Thermal
right?
conductivity.
So
now
the Prandtl number will change or not?
Will it change?
I don't think it will change.
No, tell me. I'm asking.
I don't think that it will change.
Right. So Prandtl number will not change. Reynolds number. What is Reynolds number? What is Reynolds number?
Sir,
Reynolds number will change.
Yes. So how will it change?
Density.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. So how will it change? Reynolds number?
Sir, Reynolds number is rho Vd upon mu. So rho is the density and related to the pressure. So if
yes, so rho will change, right? D I have already told it is twice. Whether L will change, D or L will change? Perhaps no. Mu will change? No. So what will be the modified Reynolds number then? Can you calculate? I have increased pressure by 10 times. So what will happen to density? How density changes with pressure? If I increase the pressure, density also increases?
Directly proportional.
And ideal gas law means density will become how much? 10 times, velocity yes. 2 times. So what will be the Reynolds number?
8 into 10 to the power 5.
10 to the power 5 or 4?
4. 8 into 10 to the power 4.
4 or 5? 5 perhaps. You have done correctly. 40,000, no?
Like 2 into 10 into R1. Yes. So 2 into 10 into R1. So 8 into 10 to the power 5.
10 to the power 5, right? Now
yes.
You have to replace back again in the same equation, right? So get the rate of heat transfer once again. Only Reynolds number changes, right? Rest of the things remain same. So now what is the heat transfer coefficient H bar L, and then what is the Q? How much is that? Why is it taking so much of time? Straightforward, you have done already, na, the calculation. How much is H bar L? How much is the Nusselt number first?
Sir, it comes 961.
Very good. What is H bar L?
143.6.
And what is Q?
Not.
None? Q?
$143.6.
143.
Yes, very good. Next is Nishtha. Can you please read this one for me? Problem 2. Are you there, Nishtha?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Can you please read it for me?
The printed circuit board comprises of many semiconductor-based devices, and overheating uh, caused by any reason completely destroys the circuit board. To cool these devices, air will, with a flow rate of 10 meter per second at 27 degrees Celsius, is passed over these 4 into 4 devices. Each of these devices dissipate 40 milliwatt heat, and turbulator is installed at the leading edge to the board that makes air flow to turbulent. Uh, Evaluate the surface temperature of the device fixed at 15 from the leading edge of the board. Also suggest if some other coolant can be used at the same temperature in the place of air to improve the cooling process.
Great. So what type of problem we are attempting here?
We are attempting like we need to find the surface temperature.
No, conduction, convection, natural convection, forced convection, boiling, condensation. Which type of problem we are attempting here? See, you have to be very convection, right? It's a natural convection or forced convection.
It will be.
You are blowing an air, no?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, when it is forced, whether it is laminar or turbulent.
It is turbulent.
Correct. So
Yes.
this is the way you have to break down the problem, because it's a correlation-based situation. If you don't break down the problem, you will be immediately into trouble. You will start using the wrong correlation. So first I have to identify whether it is conduction, convection, radiation. Okay. Now once I am convinced that it is due to convection, now convection means forced convection, natural convection, or mixed of both. Once I am convinced with that, that is laminar or turbulent. Now based on that, your correlations are different, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now what will you do? So what are the things to be evaluated? So evaluate the surface temperature of the device, fix it at 15 millimeter. So at 15 millimeter, you need to evaluate the temperature here, right? So how do you do that? How do you do that? So first you have to apply the Newton's law of cooling, right? This is
Yes, sir.
Yes. Right. So Newton's law of cooling gives Ts equal to T infinity, Ts minus T infinity, right? This is the free stream velocity, and then you have Q convection and H bar by As, right?
Yes. Heat convection is equal to HA AS into delta T. So we find the Ts is equal to T infinity plus Q convection by HA.
Please evaluate that. Please evaluate that. What is Q convection? How do you come to know Q convection? Is it given here? How much is Q convection? So I need to evaluate Q convection. If T infinity I know, the free stream air velocity that I know, that is how much I am passing at 27 degrees centigrade, and I also know the
40
flow.
40 milliwatt.
40 milliwatt is the dissipate, the energy dissipates, right? So I only do not know this H bar 4, right? How do I do
Yes.
that? This is Hx at L equal to 15, right?
Yes.
So how do I obtain that? I again use the Dietz-Boelter type equation, but remember this is for the turbulent flow we are using. This is not for the laminar flow. Earlier we were using for the laminar flow convection, correct?
Yes,
So
sir.
Nusselt number equal to 0.0296, Reynolds number to the power 4/5, Prandtl number. Prandtl number is already given 0.7.
0.7.
And what is Reynolds number? Reynolds number you have to calculate 10 meter per second, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the Reynolds number? Quickly calculate.
Uh, 8.6 into 10 to the power 3.
Yes, 8621, right? Now calculate the Nusselt number. And from there you calculate the heat transfer coefficient. How much is the Nusselt number? Quickly, we'll do another problem.
37.1.
Yes. So Hx K by L, right? K is already given 0.0274. L is 15 centimeter means
67.76.
yes. And then A is how much? Area is how much?
4 mm into 4 mm.
So now calculate the TS. TS should be calculated from where? You know Q convection.
Newton's law of cooling.
So please quickly calculate what will be TS.
So 367 Kelvin.
Mine actually came 337. So this is the calculation, 40 milliwatt.
Okay, by mistake I have put the value of Hx wrong. It will be around 337.
337, great.
Yes.
So Diganta, are you there? Hello, Diganta. Diganta, are you there? No. Diganta is not there. Vatsal, are you there? Vatsal Praveen? So those who are not there, they will get in this tutorial 0. Now I think everybody will start. Okay. Mridul, are you there? No.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mridul. Can you please read the problem 3 for me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In an experiment to determine the relation between coefficient of thermal expansion and temperature, a very small sphere made up of tungsten is suspended in air and is heated using a laser beam. To reach the highest temperature possible, the supervisor suggested to induce a downward airflow to negate the heat transfer due to natural convection from the sphere, thus minimizing the heat losses in order to attain maximum possible temperature. Estimate the minimum value of heat transfer coefficient in terms of thermal conductivity of air and sphere diameter. Assume steady state condition.
So what type of problem is this? Conduction, convection, radiation, what?
So it's a convection.
Very good. It's a convection problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what type of convection? Natural or forced convection?
So force convection.
See, there are both the things are there, right? So supervisor is telling that, see, moment I have a heated ball, in the immediate vicinity of the heated ball, there this laser is bombarded on the ball, right? Now on the ball, once the laser falls, then what will happen? It will heat up. Now once it heats up, there will be bound to be some natural convection, but then this natural convection is limited by. So it's a forced convection in which the forced convection is working against the natural convection, correct? So this is a problem where in the hot ball there is some natural convection is about to happen, but then since you are blowing the air, what happens?
Yes,
you end up getting a kind of, it's a combined situation. So we say that the Nusselt number for this problem is the Nusselt number for the forced convection minus the Nusselt number for the natural convection. So as I am blowing the air, I am making sure that the natural convection is not setting up, but there is a possibility of this natural convection setting up. That Nusselt number is coming from the natural convection, right?
Yes, sir. And sir,
Now,
that heating by the laser beam will be just radiation.
yes. So it is not influencing the medium at all.
Okay.
Okay, it's an electromagnetic radiation, correct?
Okay, sir.
So now I have given you, two Nusselt numbers. I have given you the two expression for the two Nusselt numbers, right? This is all there in the lecture notes. You will see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One is pure force convection past is sphere. This is the expression, and pure force convection past is free convection. So this is the expression for the force convection, and this is the expression for the free convection. Can you please quickly calculate the Nusselt number?
Sir, why we are subtracting means it will be the sum now, means first is due to natural convection, that convection is happening, means that will be one Nusselt number, and first
Yes.
and second is due to the forced one, means that so it should be means added na both, means
No,
phenomena are getting.
I am acting against each other. No, see, natural convection is trying to set in, but that I am disturbing using the force convection.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay.
So suppose if I apply the fluid flow towards the direction of the natural convection, then there will be adding. Say suppose there is a natural convection like this, right? Now if I flow the fluid in that direction, then they will get added up. Now
Okay.
if I try to destroy that, then they will act against each other.
Okay, sir. So the direction will be of the dominating factor, means
Correct.
which will be the. Okay.
Correct. So now you see that Nusselt number for the force convection I have written in terms of Reynolds number and Prandtl number, whereas
Okay,
Nusselt
sir.
number for the free convection I have written in terms of Rayleigh number and Prandtl number. So Rayleigh
Okay,
number is the equivalent of Reynolds number for the free convection.
Free convection, yes, sir.
Right.
Okay.
Now what would be the Reynolds number for this case?
So,
This
2.
Reynolds number, you will notice this Rayleigh number and Reynolds number are with respect to the particle, correct?
Okay.
This D signifies, the D that is there in the subscript, that signifies that this is the Reynolds number of the particle, this is the Rayleigh number with the particle. And I have said that it's a very, very small sphere, right?
Okay, sir.
Right?
Yes,
So then, if D tends to 0, then what will be the Reynolds number?
it tends to 0 because it will be Reynolds number is directly proportional to that length factor or
Correct.
diameter factor.
Correct. So what will be my Nusselt number for force convection?
Nusselt number, it will be 2.
2, right? And what will be for free convection? Now
Free
here
convection
at
also
D
it will
tends
be
to
2.
0, Rayleigh number
Yes,
will
sir.
be 0. So that will also be 2. So then what will be my effective Nusselt number?
0.
0. But is it possible, like, say suppose if you have a sphere hanging a sphere, and then if you are heating it up by radiation, and then, is it possible, like, to have Nusselt number to be 0? The answer is no. Why? Because you have to understand that, we are only considering convection here. When I am considering the Nusselt number, I am only considering the convection. But if the convection nullifies, then the entire system will be limited by what? It will be limited by conduction.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Convection heat losses could be entirely eliminated by incorporating the suggestion. However, the conclusion is flawed. Why? The limiting values of Nusselt number for both the pure forced and free convection cases correspond to the conduction limit, right? That is the limit of 0 velocity everywhere, right? The best one could possibly be achieved by superimposing the force flow law in opposition to the free convection law would be to eliminate the fluid motion, right? So this would correspond to the heat loss from the sphere by pure conduction. Okay, yielding Nusselt number is equal to 2. Like say suppose 0 velocity, pure conduction situation, Nusselt number will be equal to 2. And from there, what you get? H equal to 2K by D. Okay, so this is not a kind of, now since I have eliminated the convection, now conduction will dominate the heat transfer process. And heat transfer
here K will be the thermal conductivity of the surrounding air.
K will be the thermal conductivity of the ball, and D will be the diameter of the ball. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I am sorry. K will be the thermal conductivity of the air. You are correct.
Yes, sir.
K is the thermal conductivity of the air, but D will be the diameter of the ball. I am extremely sorry. Okay.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Acha, next one. Diganta has come back. No. Diganta is silent. I have to put Diganta to 0. This tutorial, Diganta is 0. Moment I say 0, people come. Pranjal, are you there? Pranjal Verma? Rahul is there. Rahul, can you please read the problem 4 for me? No, he is also not there. Pratyaksha is there. Pratyaksha. Varun, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Varun, can you please read problem 4 for me?
Yes, sir. A shopkeeper ran out of chilled cans of soft drink and received a new carton that is at room temperature 27 degrees centigrade and needs to cool them as soon as possible in his refrigerator compartment at 4 degrees centigrade. The cans are 15 centimeter long and 6 centimeter in diameter. Suggest whether you should place the cans vertically or horizontally to get the maximum cooling rate, and what is the ratio of cooling rates in both the cases. Neglect any heat loss from the ends.
Okay, so what type of problem is this?
Sir, this is a convection problem where the heat loss is due to convection from the ends.
What type of convection?
Sir, I guess this is free convection problem. There's no forced convection due to air blowing through a pump or something. So I guess this is free convection.
So how do you get the cooling process for vertical and horizontal? What will be the difference in the cooling process?
Sir, the difference will be the length through which the cooling process occurs, because as we write the equation for it, the length part comes in. So if we use the vertical component, the length will employed will be different, and if we use the horizontal, the length employed will be different. So that will change the cooling rates.
No. I mean, the geometry remains only vertical and horizontal, right?
Yes, sir.
Like this or that, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you look for the vertical Q, it will be H vertical
Yes, sir.
into
H
pi dl into
dl.
Ts minus T infinity, right?
And Ts minus T infinity, I guess, will remain same because nothing changes except the geometry of the problem.
Right. So you may just observe that the area is not changing, but only
Yes,
the
sir.
heat transfer coefficient is
Coefficients are.
changing.
Yes, sir.
Now, how will you obtain these two?
Sir, heat transfer. So we can obtain them from
So
Nusselt
this is a
number.
case of natural convection, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Natural
you have to
convection.
evaluate Rayleigh number, and
Yes, sir.
from Rayleigh number, what you have to do, you have to. So if you look at this expression, so we have studied this part. Sorry, we have studied this part in our. So you may see here that for free convection, vertical isothermal plates, right?
Yes, sir.
And for free convection, we have done different types of analysis. So this is the free convection for isothermal plates. Nusselt number in terms of Rayleigh number, right?
And Prandtl number.
And Prandtl number, right? Yes, so cylinders are also there somewhere, right? This is for the cylinder.
Yes, sir.
Right? So yes, what is this? Here you have a can, right? Here you have a can. So you have an equation like this, which is corresponding to, this will be there in the lecture notes.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
I'm seeing.
So,
yes, sir.
So you have to calculate the first Rayleigh number, and from there you have to calculate the Nusselt number, and from there you have to evaluate HV and HH, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you first quickly calculate the Rayleigh number for this case?
Yes, sir. I'm just calculating it.
Yeah.
क्या है? देख ले उठा के भाई मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. पेन दे मुझे फटाफट, कम से कम बोलूँ तो सही मैं कैलकुलेट कर पाऊँ.
पेन भी नहीं था अभी तक. क्या हालत है?
Yes, sir.
फटाफट. No, you are telling ना पेन दे फटाफट ताकि बोलूँ मैं कैलकुलेट करता हूँ.
Sorry, sir. Just let me.
You are audible.
Yes, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I just didn't have a pen by my side.
Yeah, so Rayleigh number is defined by G, which is 9.81. Beta is given as 1 by TF. This we have already. Beta is what? Coefficient of thermal expansion, right? And this we have done. This is for an ideal gas law. This will be 1 by TF. We have proven that 1 by V. What is beta? 1 by V into del V by del TP. Rate of change of volume with respect to temperature at constant pressure. You know, this with 1 by V. This is the thermal expansion coefficient. You know, volumetric expansion coefficient with respect to temperature. Now that beta, if you take PV equal to RT, that comes out to be 1 by V del V by del TP comes out to be what? 1 by TF. So TF is given to you. Now Ts minus T infinity is given to you. T infinity is the temperature, ambient temperature. Ts is the temperature at the surface. L cube you know already. V and alpha is the thermal diffusivity, right? U into alpha. So how much will be the Rayleigh number? Can anybody obtain the Rayleigh number?
Sir, could I get the length, please? L in the Rayleigh number.
You express in terms of L.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
You keep L cube with it. L is 0.15 perhaps. 15 centimeter.
Sir, around 2.504 into 10 to the power 9 into LQ. I haven't used it.
L is 0.15. So
Yes,
you
sir.
will get about 8 into 10 to the power 6.
Yes,
That is
sir.
Rayleigh. Now calculate
Yes, sir.
Nusselt number quickly.
Yes, sir.
Could you obtain it?
Sir, just calculating it 1 minute. Sir,
Anybody could
29.
get it?
Sir,
Yeah,
29.7. 29.
Fantastic. Now then H.
So H is Nusselt number K by
Into
L.
K by L, right?
Yes, sir. K is
So
given.
this will 0.00254 and L is 0.015. So how much will be coming? 5.03.
Yes, sir.
Okay, HL is about 5.03. Similarly, if you go for horizontal surface, again you have to go for Rayleigh number.
Yes,
now
sir.
for horizontal surface, L will become D. Okay?
Yes, sir. D.
Now,
Yes, sir.
so now then if you go for RAD and then from there you can obtain HD. So QB by QH can obtain by HB by HH. That will come out to be more or less same.
Same, nearly same.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Okay, so I think we have done 5 problems out of 12 problems in this class, and
Yes.
we have chosen one force convection one free convection, one with forced and free convection, okay, one with boiling. I was attempting another problem in condensation, but it's okay. Condensation will also, the problem will be very similar to boiling. Okay. So we
Yes.
finish the class today, and the quiz is on 7th and 8th. So you will receive the schedule. There is no class on Friday. Any question you people have? Everything is clear about syllabus and all?
Sir, when do we have to submit tutorial 4?
Tutorial 4 you are supposed to submit by next Tuesday is a good time. When is Deepavali? Deepavali is on 13-14, right? So 7th and 8th are quiz. So you submit by 12th. Is that fine? Thursday? Is that fine with all of you?
Okay, okay. At what time? By what
Thursday
time?
by 12 noon? Because 13th is
12.
Deepavali, no?
Yes.
If you submit by 12, that will be fantastic. So I'm giving you 9 days time. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, any other question on quiz? Quiz, everything is clear, no, about syllabus and all, everything is clear to all of you, right? No confusion? Okay, since all of you are saying that there is no confusion. Yeah, please, please.
This boiling point is not in the syllabus, na?
30th, up to 30th, the lecture is boiling and condensation is not there. Up to 30th, whatever lecture was delivered, up to that point, it is there.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
30th October, whatever lecture was delivered, it is there. Boiling condensation is not there. Boiling condensation, radiation, and heat exchangers will be there in the quiz 3.
Okay, sir.
So from quiz 1 until this forced and natural convection. And it will be thoroughly from the lectures, you have to explain the lecture slides and tutorial 3. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all the lecture slides starting from this finite difference, finite element, finite difference methods, for these heat transfer equations. That was the starting point because that was left, I think, up to chapter 4 in the quiz 1.
Yes.
Then chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7. I think these are the one that is forced convection, and then 2 chapters on forced convection. Then you have on the natural convection, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we went for the condensation and boiling, which is chapter 9 perhaps of Holman. And chapter 8 is radiation. So chapter 8 and 10 will be chapter 8, 9, and 10 will be in the quiz 3.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Thanks.
Clear to
Yes,
all of
sir.
you? Yeah, great. See you on Saturday, early morning. I mean, the schedule will be reaching you by Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. Okay. Yeah. All the best. Bye-bye.